there, my name is Abby and I am a homeschooling mom of 4. Today is a video that I do every single month with Jessica from the Waldock Way and all of you. She and I host a monthly open collaboration called Homeschool Show and Tell, where we share something on a different topic every month from our homeschool. So this month, the topic is do our favorite subject with us. So I'm gonna be showing you what it looks like when we do our favorite subject. Jessica's doing the same, and then there's gonna be a playlist down below, and you guys feel free to add your video to the playlist as well through the end of this month. And you can go through that playlist and see a bunch of other moms show their favorite subjects in their homeschool. So this is gonna be a video or a playlist that just has a ton of different topics and different subjects. So I hope you guys take some time to go through that playlist. There are some simple rules in a blog post I will link down below if you guys want to join up, and I'll give you the next month's video right now so you guys can be prepared, because I'm very excited about that one. Next month, Jessica and I are inviting you guys to share your educational toy Christmas list. What is it called? Educational gift guide. There we go. It's one that we have both done every single year, and we're super excited to invite you guys to do that with us. So the second Tuesday of December, be sure to share your educational gift guide. All right, let's get into my favorite subject. So this was tough to decide because in many ways, every single subject we do is a favorite. I wouldn't do a subject in our home if it wasn't something that we all really enjoyed, believed in, or loved. That's the beauty of homeschooling. You don't have to use something that isn't a fit. So all of our subjects really are some of our favorite subjects out there, but this in another way was a no-brainer for me as far as picking which subject I wanted to show you guys today. And I am just going with the subject that has my heartstrings, and that is 5 in a row. I have done 5 in a row since the very first year I was homeschooling, at the time my 3.5-year-old, way back in preschool, 9 years ago. So I started using 5 in a row, like I said, when my oldest, who's now in middle school, was in preschool, and we have used it in some way, shape, or form all the way through to where now I'm using before 5 in a row with my current 3-year-old and using 5 in a row with my boys who are 7 and 9. And then on occasion, I'll bring my middle schooler in and use a little beyond 5 in a row extension, which I'll explain in a minute. So we have modified 5 in a row to fit our family over the years. The way that it is designed to work is that you read the same classic children's storybook 5 days in a row, and then in the manual it gives you a ton of different ideas for some different subjects like language arts, social studies, geography, history, science, math, art, any and everything. You do those subjects, you read the same storybook 5 days in a row, and then you just pick one of those subjects to do, and it relates back to the story. So this week we are doing The Wild Horses of Sweetbriar. This is a new to me book. This is from the manual, the third 5 in a row manual, which I've pulled some books from this year that we've never done in the past. A lot of times I'll do repeat stories, and I have so many memories attached to all these books. If I can find any of the pictures, I'll put some in here of way back when Isabella and Jesse were little. I also have a multitude of other videos about 5 in a row, so I'll link a couple of those up here, and then I might link a couple of blog posts down below from back when I was blogging our preschool journey with Isabella. So we are doing Wild Horses of Sweetbriar, and I thought this would be a great one to show you guys because for my boys, I've pulled out a couple of math and science activities that I think would give you guys a good idea of how a book like this would fit all of the subjects, because there isn't necessarily an obvious math or science lesson in here, but 5 in a row really does a great job at pulling details and kind of taking you in depth with the details. So, and then another question I get a lot is 5 in a row enough? So if we're not using it as a supplement, like I said before, sometimes we'll just use it as a supplemental curriculum, and then there are years where we use it as our main curriculum, or I have in the past. So yes, it is enough. I firmly believe it's enough, and it really just depends on how in depth you want to go with the different subjects. So you'll see what a math lesson and what a science lesson looks like when I let you guys go from my talk here and show you what this is going to look like in our home this week. But what I'm really excited about sharing is that I'm actually working with 5 in a Row today, and they are giving away a mini unit and a $15 Amazon gift card to buy the book to 2 of you. So there are going to be 2 winners, and there is a raffle copter down below. So thank you so much, 5 in a Row. I'm actually gonna flip you around and show you inside what a mini unit looks like, and there is a free mini unit on their website. I will put the code for that down below because you do have to use the code to get it for free. But the mini units are awesome because where 5 in a Row in general is really for kids about ages, I think it's 5 through 9 or 10, and then there's before 5 in a Row for the preschool years and beyond 5 in a Row for an older age range. The 5 in a Row mini units are designed to work for your whole family, so they have the general 5 in a Row lesson plans and options inside, but then they also have an extension for before 5 in a Row and for beyond 5 in a Row that go along with the same book, so your whole family can do it together. And they have a new mini unit that they release every month, so there's some fun seasonal titles coming up that we are going to be using. And then they also have one, like I said, that you can get for free. It's called The Day You Begin, which I'll show you inside of this one if you guys want to check it out. They also just released their November mini unit. It's called Fry Bread, and that is the #1 selling children's Native American picture book. So it's a great one for the month of November when we are kind of focusing more on like pilgrims. You could focus on the Native American traditions as well. So I'm gonna show you guys inside the mini unit. Make sure you check out the giveaway in the description box down below, and then I'm going to show you what our math and science lesson looked like in 5 in a Row. So here is The Day You Begin. This is one of the mini units that is normally $10, but like I said, there's a code down below if you want to try this for free. All of the mini units on their website are $10, plus then you have to purchase the book or check it out from the library. And then they also have their manuals, which they have just updated. I'll be sharing the updated ones with you guys in January, but I have used the same manuals for years and years and years. I absolutely love those manuals, and we revisit so many of those titles. So if you want to try a mini unit and you like it, then I would suggest looking into the manuals where you have like 15 or so books, maybe even more than that in each manual. And it really goes very much in depth. But these mini units are a great option if you just want to try it out, or if you just want to use 5 in a Row every now and then versus making it your entire curriculum. So in the mini unit, this is the book called The Day You Begin. There's a summary here, and then here's the before 5 in a Row idea. So idea 1 is having a booklet with pictures of your child every 6 months or year as they've grown. This is just about telling kids stories about themselves. Like I said, before 5 in a Row is for ages 2 through 5 or so. Create a series of pictures from a trip you took, make a photo book of when your little one was born, have pages with family and friends' names on them, etc. Here's some go-along book suggestions, and then it gets up here to 5 in a Row. Now, as you guys will see, a lot of these 5 in a Row ideas, I just bring my littlest one in a lot when I'm doing lessons with my older kids, because there's just ways to modify these lessons to fit regardless, but I do love these specific before 5 in a Row options. So we have social studies, our differences and similarities in here. There's also tools we can use to build empathy, language arts, writing, first, second, and third person point of view. These are all things they've pulled from the book. Art, object lessons, and character portraits. You have applied math, measurement, ruler, yardsticks, and tape measure, because the items that appear several times within the story is a ruler or a yardstick. For science, they do heat, mirages, and wavy effects. Again, they pulled it from the book. All of it is pulled from the book or from details within the book. You have go-along books here, and then you have geography. Now, the story discs are cool. I'll show you that at the end. It's kind of like a visual representation. There's one in color and one in black and white. And if you keep a 5 in a Row map up in your schoolroom, you can place the story discs around the map on different books and places that they visited in the books. So your kids can look at that map even years later and say, oh, that's where Ping lived, and oh, that's where Madeline lived, and they can connect with the stories and geography. So then for beyond 5 in a Row, for ages 9 through 12, you have social studies here, a social studies extension, professional tools for measuring, and then some different go-along books as well. You have a cake here to make a cake and customize it. And then you have teacher's notes in the back here, anything that you want to add to it, or field trip opportunities, favorite quotes, etc. And then here's a template that goes along with one of the activities in there. And then just some extra resources that were suggested. And then you have the story disc here, which I already mentioned, and then just the credits back here. So this is just an example of the mini units. I would really encourage you guys to get online and see. We are going to be doing, in 2 weeks, we're going to be doing their mini unit called Balloons Over Broadway, which is another classic children's storybook, and that one is in New York. It talks about the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade and the puppeteers who designed those balloons. And we're gonna be making New York City food, and we are going to be making, the art project is really neat. We're gonna be doing, what was the one? Oh, some learning gears for math. I'm really excited about that one. That one looked really neat. We're talking about immigration and all of that. So you really just cover such a broad range of topics. So I would suggest you guys getting online and checking these out for yourself, or going back through any of the videos where I kind of walk you through what 5 in a row lessons look like. Now, without any further ado, let's get into the math and science that the boys and I did this week with the wild horses of Sweetbriar.
We just moved to Sweetbriar Island off the coast of Nantucket. Papa worked at the Coast Guard station across the shallows. He worked such long hours that we would only see him once a week. Mama said we'd have to be strong and take care of ourselves. We were the only people on the island. Mama wished we had neighbors, but I was glad we didn't. I loved the island just as it was. I was almost 8, my mother and I almost ate my mother. Well, that's why there's a comma too. I have a question. She lives in Sweetbriar Island by Nantucket. She's talking about the different flora and fauna that live there, the different animals and plants that live there. What's similar about where we live at our beach, and what's different? Do we have...
So I have my manual here, and we are going to do this math activity today. You guys might have seen when we were reading, we kind of discussed flora and fauna. This for us was just a discussion topic instead of going ahead and going out on a nature walk, because we do nature regularly already. And so I just wanted to compare her beach with our beach a little bit. There's a lot of opportunities to just discuss some of these things in the book instead of actually doing them. So don't get overwhelmed if you look at a unit and think you have to do it all. You can do as much of it as you want. You can just do one project or activity or discussion for each subject, or whatever you want. But I like reading this ahead of time so I know what discussion topics to bring up while we're reading, and it just gives me opportunity to just have some more discussions. Like, for example, yesterday we started talking about these wild horses, and then we spent about an hour and a half looking at different documentaries and YouTube videos about these wild horses, and the kids just soaked in so much. Same with just kind of talking about living in isolation and on and on. So anyway, in the book, they're pulling their math from the images of the mother canning the blueberries for the, was it blueberries?
Yeah, it was blueberries.
Was it blueberries that she was picking?
No, it was,
the beach plums, you think?
no.
I know how I'll have to go back through and look. But she was canning the food for winter, and so it's pulling math from that, and it just talks about discussing and calculating pints and quarts and gallons and all of that. So I went on Teachers Pay Teachers. Again, it can be a discussion topic. You can use things in your own kitchen, or you can do what you will with it. And so I like to find extension projects for the boys just to get their hands on things a little bit more sometimes. And so this, I thought this would be a good visual for them. So I will link this below. It's called Gallon Man, I believe. And it's just a cutting and pasting. So you'll see that there's 2 cups in a pint, there's 2 pints in a quart, there's 4 quarts in a gallon, and so then there's 16 cups in a gallon. So it's just a good visual for them. So that is where they're pulling their math from, and we're gonna go ahead and do this project.
Yes, what is it?
A gallon.
What is this a gallon of? Where do you
A gallon of milk.
We usually see a gallon of milk, right? Sometimes when we go to Publix, we get a gallon of what?
Milk or water?
What do we get when we go to Publix sometimes?
Milk.
Lemonade, sweet tea.
Sweet tea.
What do we get from Chick-fil-A in this container? Chick-fil-A lemonade,
Chick-fil-A.
the most delicious.
I was gonna say that, but I don't really.
So this can be a gallon of whatever you want, but you know that gallon-sized container, right? We're gonna learn how to break it down into quarts. Now the word quart, what does that sound like? What kind of money does that sound like, quart?
Oh, Quarter.
Eli, how many quarters are in a dollar?
4.
4. So how many quarts do you think are in a gallon? 4. You're right. Okay. But then from there, we have a smaller size container. Sometimes you'll see Mommy's coffee creamer come in this pint size container, right? So pint, 2 pints.
Pints are 1 quart.
Yeah, 2 pints fit in 1 quart. 4 quarts fit in 1 gallon. So Jessie, question. If 2 pints fit in a quart and 4 quarts in a gallon, how many pints do you think fit in a gallon? If 2 fit in each quart and there's 4 quarts.
8.
Good. How would we figure that out?
Because
2 times 4, right? Good job. And then tiny down.
Okay, today's project I saved for Fun Friday because it's one that I wanted Isabella to be involved with as well. In the very last page of this unit in the manual, it talks about how Mama was making preserves, so she had to protect the finished product from bacteria. It's a very minor moment in the book. Let me find it for you. Here it is, just a very minor moment. They pull from the illustration in the background. She's canning preserves, and it just says like 2 sentences maybe. Mama dried the blueberries and made rose hip jam and plum preserves. So that's it. They talked about how he did some salted or some dried cod or salt pork, and they actually did talk about something like that in here, just very small, small little bit. But it talks about the bacteria, why she has to protect the finished product from bacteria. So it's a minor moment in the book, but it pulls a deeper lesson. So a lot of times people have asked me, oh, I don't understand how they would pull science from this or that. It's a little tiny detail and they can pull a whole unit out of it. So she happened to be canning in the book. We're gonna talk about bacteria. So it just gives you an idea of how to, or gives you a topic to talk about. And then what I decided to do, and it says you can discuss the importance of keeping hot foods hot and cold foods cold, washing your knives and cutting boards, etc. But I'm using that and I'm going to make it a whole lesson. Again, this is just a guide. You can take it your own route. And so I bought one of these bacteria kits. It's a bacteria science kit. It's like a science fair kit. I'll link this below as well. And we are going to go ahead and do this lesson after we read the book. So Isabella hasn't heard us read this book yet. We're gonna read through the book. It's our last day with the book today. So we're gonna read through it and then we're gonna go ahead and study bacteria. Off your finger we could get bacteria. We'll see. So she had to protect the finished product from bacteria. Bacteria are microscopic, single-celled organisms. Some bacteria are harmful to humans and cause diseases. In the canning and freezing processes, care is taken to protect food from bacterial growth. So anytime that somebody would can some jam, they would boil the jars first to protect them from getting, from being dirty and having bacteria before we preserve them, right? Mm-hmm. So canning jars are sterilized, oh that's what I just said, rinsed with boiling water to prevent bacteria growth in the food. Sometimes jars of preserves are covered with liquid paraffin which hardens and keeps the jellies from contact with the air and airborne bacteria. Bacteria and germs are the reason you preserve some kinds of food through canning, freezing, or refrigeration, and why you wash your hands before preparing food and eating it. Perhaps you can discuss, well that's for me. Okay, so listen. Today, we can't just leave food out on our counters because of bacteria, right? Mm-hmm. Where do you guys think that there is bacteria in our house?
In our teeth, maybe.
In our teeth, maybe on our hands.
Dead fruit.
Fruit. What about like on
the toilet?
On the toilet? Yeah, what about on the keyboard?
Oh, the
So
sink.
we type the sink?
Because there's millions of bacteria.
What about on our hands?
Well, definitely.
Definitely on our hands.
Flowers.
On flowers, you think? All right, so we're gonna do an experiment and we're gonna see why we would need to also sterilize any jars before we preserve, like Mama did in the book. We're gonna find out what we have hanging out around our house, okay? So the first one we're gonna do, before we wash our hands to do the rest of these, is we're gonna do our hands and we're gonna do our teeth. Each person's hands and each person's teeth. So I'm gonna open one of these.
Today, I hope I brushed mine enough.
I'm gonna do my hands first, and then I'm gonna wash my hands so I can do the rest of your guys' hands, okay?
Okay. Oh,
Over here.
Like gelatin?
Yeah, it's like jelly. All right, then I'm gonna put this on. I'm gonna flip it upside down, and we're not gonna touch it now. We're gonna put it under the warm light when we put all the rest of them in, okay? All right, now I'm gonna wash my hands and do you guys, okay? We have all of ours done, so we're gonna get another tray, and then everybody's gonna pick one thing they wanna test around our house that they think has the most germs. What you guys think has the most germs in our house?
Even a lamp switch.
I think the bathroom.
Yeah, like a
Kitchen
doorknob, bathroom, toilet.
Kitchen sink.
I think.
I definitely think mommy's cell phone.
Oh, we should
Yeah.
test your cell phone.
I think my.
Or my cell phone.
Oh yeah. All right, let's. Annie wants to do mommy's phone. So I'm gonna get this a little wet because mommy's phone is dry. Okay. Okay, Annie, take this. Don't touch the white part, okay? Rub that all over on the phone there, all over that screen part, all over. Get it round and round and round and round. Get the whole thing.
You want your phone clean?
Keep going. All right, now I'm gonna rub it onto there, okay? Okay, now I'm gonna rub it all over in the middle here.
Oh, Mommy, I think yours is gonna win.
All right, I see the moisture. So we're gonna just put this lid on.
I'm gonna do the toilet.
You're gonna do the toilet?
Yeah.
All right, Annie,
Next
good
to
job.
the
We've got
toilet.
this is Jessie's kitchen sink. Good job. All right, I see it all on there, you're good. So we have our different tests here. We have the toilet, Dad's guitar strings, a coin, the kitchen sink, Mom's cell phone. Then it did say in the kit that we could split it. So we have everybody's right hand, everyone's right-handed, and everyone's teeth. And we're just going to use a good old-fashioned lamp. It was the only lamp we had in the house that didn't have like an LED bulb. So this bulb does give off heat. It said it couldn't be below 70 degrees or above 100, and right now it's 76 in the house, so this shouldn't bring it up too much, but just in case it dips down a little bit overnight. So yes, we should be able, it said we should be able to start seeing results after 12 hours. So hopefully at like 10 o'clock tonight, maybe I'll let the kids stay up a little bit and see if we see anything. And then my guess is that by tomorrow morning, we'll see a lot of junk happen in here. So what do you guys think is gonna be the worst?
Probably the toilet sink.
I think the coin.
You think the coin?
Or maybe your phone.
I'm pretty sure my phone, because I never clean my phone. Pretty sure it's gonna be my phone. Or we'll see, there's something from everyone's zone pretty much. There's something from Eli's zone, well, he doesn't clean the guitar, but Jesse's zone, Bella's zone. We're about to see who does their chores the best, aren't we?
Oh, I don't want to.
Don't worry guys, mine's gonna be awful.
No. It's the toilet.
The toilet, you think? We'll see.
I hope you guys enjoyed today's video and that it gave you a good idea and feel for what a typical 5 in a row lesson looks like. And this is just what it looks like in our home. Like I said, you can really make it work for your family. You can pick and choose things that you think your kids would really enjoy. You can pick and choose things that you think your kids could really use some extra practice in. And just make it your own. So if you guys liked today's video, give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much 5 in a row for partnering with me on today's video and for offering that giveaway for 2 winners. I will put a bunch of the other links that I mentioned throughout this video down below, so make sure you check that out, and be sure to go check out Jessica's video and all of the other moms who are collaborating in this big open collaboration today. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.